Have you ever wondered why, in such a noisy world, the greatest transformations happen in silence? Isn't it strange that even though we're constantly connected to social media, news, advice, opinions, we still feel so disconnected from what truly matters? Here's something most people won't tell you. The most fulfilled, aligned people rarely speak loudly about what they're building. They move in silence. There was a time when wisdom was passed quietly, from master to student, eye to eye. Not out of secrecy, but out of reverence for the energy behind words. Today, many shout their intentions to the universe, their plans, their dreams, as if speaking louder would speed things up. But the universe, it seems, responds differently. There's an old story told in Eastern monasteries about a young seeker who, frustrated with his life, asked a wise elder, "Why do some people seem to receive everything easily, while others struggle no matter how hard they try?" The master didn't reply with words. He led the student to a stone wall covered in vines and pointed to a closed door. "Many knock. They push. They force," he said. "But only those who feel, who watch quietly, notice the hidden latch beneath the leaves. Or the door opens not with strength, but with awareness. Maybe everything you've been trying to achieve, love, purpose, abundance, isn't being denied to you. Maybe it's simply waiting behind a different kind of access, the frequency of silence." In this video, we'll explore why silence is so powerful, how it influences your energy field, and what science has to say about it. More importantly, you'll learn how to use this in your daily life, not by changing who you are, but by remembering what, deep down, you've always known. You're about to discover something that doesn't need to be announced. It only needs to be felt. Stay with me. The universe has already begun to listen, even before you speak a word. Why is it that so many people do all the right things? They read the books, repeat affirmations, follow the manifestation steps, and still feel stuck. Maybe the answer isn't in what they're doing, but in how they're vibrating while they do it. What most don't realize is that the moment right after you set an intention is when it's most sensitive. Like a seed just planted, it needs protection. And what weakens it the most in its early stage? Talking too much, oversharing, seeking external validation before the inner certainty is fully formed. Studies in neuroscience show that when you share a goal out loud, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical it produces upon achieving something. This false sense of completion reduces the real motivation to act. In other words, the more you talk about your plans, the less likely you are to complete them. But that's only part of the equation. The other part is more subtle and more powerful. It's in the kind of energy you cultivate in silence. Think about it. When a musician composes a new song, they don't show the first draft to everyone. When a mother finds out she's pregnant, she doesn't tell the world in the first few weeks. Not out of fear, but out of reverence for the invisible process taking place. Everything in the universe has a rhythm, and silence is the beat that comes before any great creation. Modern physics reminds us that the observed reality is shaped by the observer. That means what you feel while visualizing, thinking, or dreaming about something is already interfering with how your external world forms. But here's the key. Your energetic field can only organize clearly in the absence of noise. True silence, not emptiness but full presence, creates space for your intention to expand, grow, and gain strength. What you feel in silence is what you're planting in the invisible. And sooner or later the visible responds. So before trying to convince others, convince yourself. Before looking for signs outside, recognize the ones already within. Silence is not absence, it is the origin. And when you learn to remain in that space, even for just a few minutes each day, everything around you begins to shift, not by force, but by resonance. Because in the right silence, creation stops being effort and becomes consequence. Have you ever had a brilliant idea, told someone, and suddenly lost your motivation? Sometimes it's not because the idea was weak, it's because it was exposed before it was ready. And here's what's even more surprising. This isn't just spiritual insight, it's emotional neuroscience. At the early stages of a desire, your vibrational field is still unstable. Like a frequency being calibrated, it needs consistency before it's sent out clearly into the universe. When you share it with people who aren't energetically aligned, even with good intentions, the signal starts to distort. It's like tuning a radio station with constant static. The message gets lost. That interference can come from subtle places. A doubtful question disguised as advice, a casual joke, even a glance filled with disbelief. Science shows that we have mirror neurons, parts of the brain that unconsciously mimic the emotional states of others. So when you share your delicate goals with someone skeptical, your system absorbs that energy, even if you don't notice it. Now imagine the impact of this on a fragile intention still forming. Protecting your intention is like shielding a candle flame from the wind. It needs a calm space, clean air, and stillness. But just as important as protection is vibration. You can repeat the perfect affirmations, create vision boards, write your goals down. But if your underlying emotion is fear, doubt, or scarcity, that's what the universe responds to. The universe doesn't hear your words, it hears the frequency behind them. A nervous, "it's going to work," broadcasts lack. A calm, "I trust," broadcasts certainty. The difference is vibrational coherence, when what you say, feel, and believe are all in sync. So the real question isn't, will the universe give me what I want? It's, does my energy already match what I'm asking for? If it doesn't, the answer is silence. But if it does, the answer comes. Not with noise, but with synchronicity. And this brings us to something deeper. How your beliefs, especially the unconscious ones, shape everything you emit. And that is what we'll explore next. Have you ever stopped to wonder where your thoughts actually come from? Most people believe they're in control of their own mind, but the truth is, about 95% of our daily behaviors are unconscious, according to cell biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton. It's like trying to drive to a new destination while your GPS is locked into an old route. And here's the wild part. Most of those subconscious programs were formed before age 7, a time when your brain was operating in theta waves, highly impressionable and absorbing everything like a sponge. Phrases like, "money is hard," "you have to earn love," that life isn't for people like us. They're not just memories, they're invisible installations, and they quietly control what you expect from life and what you allow yourself to receive. But if those beliefs were installed, they can also be reprogrammed. The key? Language, plus repetition, plus emotion. Many people say affirmations daily. I am abundant, I am healthy, I am enough. But if they're not feeling them, it's like shooting arrows with no bow. The subconscious doesn't respond to logic, it responds to felt experience. That's why emotion is the amplifier. When you repeat an affirmation and pair it with emotion, relief, joy, gratitude, your brain records it as truth. Neuroplasticity studies have shown that new neural patterns can be installed in just weeks with emotional consistency. Visualizing goals with emotional charge increases their impact by up to 42%. According to research published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology. But it's not just about saying the words. You need to build vivid inner scenes that convince your body the future is already here. Close your eyes and imagine you opening the door to your dream home, feeling the handle, breathing in the scent of the space, the light, the air. This is the language your subconscious understands, and the more fluent you become in it, the more your inner world begins working with you, not against you. You don't need to fight your mind, you just need to teach it a new path. And that path begins in silence, is strengthened in repetition, and made real through authentic emotion. If this content made sense to you, don't stop here. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content. Now, watch this next video where I'll show you another essential step to transform your reality. I'll see you there.